Hi guys, it's Monday at 12:32 in the morning. I should totally be sleeping. I have been applying for jobs like crazy. Um, I don't know what to say. I'm so flustered, I guess. I turned 26 on Friday, and it's been a rough week. I was set to move to Kentucky on my birthday, and 2 weeks before I was supposed to move, I basically got served papers stating that my son's dad is fighting it. He's claiming that I'm unfit because that was the only way they could get it into circuit court, was to state I was not a fit and proper parent, but then goes to say that they have absolutely no proof, and which kind of pisses me off that circuit court even agreed to view this case, because there is absolutely no proof. You'll never find any proof that I'm an unfit mother, because I'm absolutely fit. I'm sane. I provide financially for my children, but, well, I did until now. Basically, my lease was up on my birthday. They allowed me to extend it for 2 weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do on the 31st. I don't know what I'm going to do about having a roof over my head. I'm really scared. I'm freaking out because I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it. And it freaks me out. Um, I was basically set to move to Kentucky. I had all my plans for there. I didn't have a contingency plan because his dad knew I was moving. 4 months. His dad knew 4 months. So basically, because it's going to circuit court, I'm not allowed to leave the state, or it'd be considered kidnapping of my child. So I have to stay. Well, the problem is that I had left my job, and my certification test is on the 28th. So I didn't apply for another job. I didn't look for another job. I just lost my job, and that was it. Like, my 120 days come up. My CNA certification is August the 28th. So I just didn't look for anything else because we were set to move. And so then it kind of got to, oh, well, you gotta stay. And it just, I don't have the money for a deposit. I don't have the money to pay to reset up electricity. I don't have money to pay my lawyer. And she's like $5,000. She's ridiculously expensive, but she's really good. And she was A, the only person open. B, she's absolutely amazing. But then it just brings me to C that I have no clue what I'm gonna do. Ugh. I don't know if anyone's ever been like this, and people are like, well, just pray, just pray. And I have been praying, and I know that no matter what, I will be taken care of. I've been taken care of for 26 years of my life, and I've been through some hell, and, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I'm just worried, because I have two children who mean the world to me, and they deserve the best. So, I guess the best way to go is to explain to you guys. I was going to move because we were paying for my oldest son. He's 3. I've had to pay all of his medical expenses, all of his medical bills, his daycare, his clothing, his shoes, his extracurriculars. I paid every penny of it. Dad paid absolutely nothing. And it just got to be a financial bind, and I realized, like, hey, I need to get my life straight. I need to go to school. I need to, get an education. I need to be better. I need to be better for myself, and I need to be better for my family, my boys, my boyfriend. I need to be better. So I made the decision that moving closer to my family, they have a respiratory therapy program, and I love it. I absolutely love working with ventilators and trachs. So I was like, well, I'll go to school and I'll get paid for it. They have a program at Morehead State University, and I could actually take those classes at the local community college. So I'd still graduate from Morehead, but it would just the classes are done at the local community college in Maysville. So I could be closer to my parents, which would help me out a great deal, because I don't have a support system where I am, because it's just me. I don't have family. All my friends have moved away. with their husbands. So it's just kind of like, well, I need a support system. I need help. So I made that decision. Jobs actually pay better. My stepmom works at a factory. Their jobs were like $12 an hour. I could work at a hospital and a nursing home because my CNA license would transfer. All I'd have to do is fill out the paperwork and pay the $35. And that's like $12 to $13 an hour working at the hospital, and then it's $14.50 at the nursing home. So it was more money than I was making here. But I was going to live with my parents for like a month or two till I got back on my feet, which would allow me to move into a better place as well. And it was just like this whole situation. It was about bettering my life and the life of my children. I wasn't doing anything to take my oldest son from his dad. I actually tried to work out a wonderful visitation plan where instead of him visiting every other weekend, because he's not in school for another 2 years, I felt like, well, why don't you have him one full week instead of every other weekend, and then you have him 4 weeks out of the summer. So that would put me having him 3 weeks and 1 week off. Like, I'd have him for 3 weeks in a row, then Dad would get him, then 3 weeks, then Dad would get him. And then we would alternate holidays, obviously. Dad said no. So then I was like, okay, well, why don't we do, like, I'm only living 5 hours away, so it's not like I'm moving halfway across the country or anything like that. So then I was like, well, why don't we do 2 weeks and 2 weeks? It's exactly split down the middle. And Dad's like, that's not good for our child, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, he's 3. What's good for him is being with his mom and his dad. And I'm trying to be completely reasonable. I do not think it's good for a child every other weekend. By the time you drive down, he spends a day, he's driving back. I don't think that that's fair. I don't think that's okay. So I was like, I'm trying to give you more time, and you're just being an ass. But yet you haven't paid any medical bills, you haven't bought him any clothes, you haven't paid for any shoes, but you think that you deserve to have him all the time. You don't take him to one doctor's appointment. You show up late when you have to bring him to the doctor's appointment. If a doctor's appointment falls on Dad's day, I have to go to the doctor's office and handle the appointment, and Dad gets him afterwards. So, on what scale does that make me an unfit parent? I'm paying for everything, I'm handling everything, I'm taking care of everything. So it just kind of pisses me off because I'm now in a bind. I have to find someone who will let me live with them for 2 months till the 26th of September. I have to figure out how to come up with $5,000, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. I set up a GoFundMe for the Leonard family legal fees, and I can probably put that link down and pray that someone feels nice enough to help me a little. But it's just the point. Like, I can't stand it. If you don't want to financially support your kid, do not be a douchebag when you think that you're going to have to pay child support. It really pisses me off. For 3 years, I had paid for all clothes, all daycare. I took a year off of work to breastfeed. I have been the primary caregiver for my son. And before we had our custody arrangement that we had now, I had my son 20 days out of the month, and Dad didn't pay a cent. This is back when Dad was trying to screw the girl he's with roommates. That's who he wanted. And then the consolation prize was the roommate, and that's who he had the baby with. So, it's a weird situation, but Dad didn't want his son. He wanted his son to stay with his mom. I mean, he would have his son for 48 hours, and he would maybe see his son like 3 or 4 hours. Girlfriend's mom died, and he spent the whole week. He had his son for 4 days. He spent 4 hours with his son total because girlfriend's mom died. And I get that that's his girlfriend and you should support it, but this is your son, and you haven't seen him in like 14 days, and you want to see him for 4 hours, but I'm the unfit mother. Me. The one who's here day in and day out. I don't hand my kids off to other people to watch. I don't go out. It's caused a huge amount of stress in my relationship because I want quality time with my boyfriend whom I love. But my kids are important, and I don't want to hand them off to other people to raise them. But, it's just frustrating, and I want to know what you guys do or how you handle the situation. or what you would do other than, the random troll comments I'll see.